In the dead of night on a Japanese beach, 10-year-old Louisa wakes up half-drowned, hypothermic, and entirely alone. She had been stargazing with her father, but he has vanished into the dark. He left behind no tracks, no struggle, and only one object, a single emergency flashlight. This mystery opens Susan Choi's novel, Flashlight. The story follows the fracturing of the Kang family, Cirque, an immigrant father, Anne, his chronically ill wife, and their traumatized daughter, Louisa. The thriller's tension thrives in negative space, the massive, unspoken vacuum of information that defines the family's history. The Kangs live in a state of emotional isolation. They occupy the same home while harboring debilitating secrets that keep them profoundly unhappy and disconnected from one another. Anne hides the true progression of her early-onset MS, while secretly reuniting with a son she had been forced to give up for adoption years earlier. Louisa grows up catching only fragments of these hidden lives. Denied the full truth by her parents, she learns to nurture secrets of her own to survive the household's silence. Understanding the father's disappearance requires looking beyond the household and into a massive, buried geopolitical lie. Cirque's past reveals the specific trauma of his childhood. He was an ethnic Korean raised in poverty in post-World War II occupied Japan. He belonged to an entire generation trapped in post-war limbo, claimed by neither Japan nor their divided homeland. This displacement fractured his identity. He navigated the world using a rotating series of names: Cirque, Hiroshi, Cirque, the Crab, trying to find a place that would finally accept him. This lack of a true homeland made ethnic Koreans uniquely vulnerable to a specific geopolitical trap that would define the rest of Cirque's life. After the war, North Korea launched a massive repatriation program designed to lure vulnerable ethnic Koreans out of Japan. The regime advertised as socialist paradise, filled with modern high-rise apartments, targeting desperate people with a false promise of wealth and stability. Tens of thousands boarded these vessels for North Korea, unaware they would never be allowed to return. This state-sponsored deception swallowed entire family lines behind the Iron Curtain. Cirque's own family fell for the propaganda and remained trapped in the DPRK, while he fled to America to attempt a fresh start. The loss of his family to a totalitarian lie created the impenetrable silence that eventually suffocated his American life. The incident on the beach was the climax of a desperate mission, far removed from the random accident. Cirque moved his family to Japan to use them as a cover, while he surreptitiously sought a path to rescue his relatives from North Korea. In his attempt to save the family history had erased, he inadvertently erased himself from his daughter's life. Cirque's physical disappearance on the beach was the final manifestation of the historical absence he carried his entire life. Choi uses an intimate family drama to confront a massive chapter of North Korean history rarely explored in American fiction. Anne and Louisa lived with Cirque for years without truly understanding him, blinded to the massive historical weight crushing him. The surviving family is left with grief defined by unanswerable questions and words like missing and presumed dead. Flashlight by Susan Choi demonstrates how buried geopolitical history inevitably finds a way to haunt the present day.